Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How is everybody? Happy Friday. It's always good to see all your lovely, happy, shining faces on this lovely Friday afternoon. Sure that you put your name and school into the chat. Also, if anyone for some reason had to get this link from another person due to an email error, please put it in my personal email. It's fasteners@aol.com, because I'm trying to put everybody in the link and I still get bounced back. That people, for some reasons, either I'm doing something incorrectly or something's not catching. And I don't want anybody missing out on any of these meetings going forward. With that said, we have our treasurer's report, Mr. Vito.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Did that email ever get out, or it just went to you guys?
I think it just went to us, so you can just tell. I mean, nothing has changed.
We got 22 extra cents.
Woo!
I'll just be legit, and I'll share it with everybody.
Please do. Thank you, sir.
Just let me find it, and then I'll share my screen.
Okay, perfect. All right, while we're waiting for that, let's see, anything else new and exciting with anybody? No, everybody's so quiet out there. Thank you, thank you. All right. Here we go.
Hello, does everybody see that?
Yes, we see it. Thank you, sir.
So this is the usual that I do. We have the beginning balances of March 1st. We got 22 cents of interest. Total, no expenses. So we have a total of 29.12 as of March 31st. And the bank statement with that same amount, the March 18th bank statement, is attached on the last page as well, so everybody can see that. Anybody have any questions or comments? Okay.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, I gave a financial thing in the fall that was really good. Now, if everybody is using a form similar to that, your final end of the year statement will be so super easy, because all you would need to do was transfer all the data from July of 2020 to June 30th of 2021, and it'll be all in there, and you should be able to bang that out like really easily. So just an FYI for everyone.
Okay, thank you, Vito. Can I show either by a show of hands or in the chat that I need to show that we agree on the treasurer's report? I need one more, people. And I got a thumbs up. Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. The treasurer, and another one. Excellent. Treasurer's report has been approved. Excellent. Tamara, are you on?
Yes.
Do you have anything you would like to say at this point?
I would like to ask anybody, have they started their audits yet?
Oh, there you go. There's a good conversation starter. Anybody? You want to just give a brief, if those who don't know what an audit is or what it is, could you just explain?
An audit is actually, you have to have at the minimum between 3 to 5 people on a committee, and they go through your PTA financials every year. It is recommended through chancellor's regulations, and it's also in your bylaws, that every PTA board should do an internal audit every year. So because we all went through the pandemic, none of us were allowed in the building last year. So now with the audit that we have to do, it has to be for 2 years. So you need to get 3 parent members. They cannot be anybody that's part of the board. And what you do is you will make an appointment with your treasurer will, and you take them, it's supposed to be done on school grounds, and you take them into the building and you go through your books, and you're supposed to have like a checklist. I have a question for Bill. Do you know if that's something we were still allowed to do, since we're technically allowed in the building?
You're allowed to go into the building for PTA financial interim records transfer.
Okay, but just for the records transfer, not,
I gotta double check to see if they could do it for the internal audit.
okay,
Well-
thank you. Go ahead, Tamara, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So you should be able to get any of the information, hopefully on the DOE side,
Right,
that's updated. If nobody has it, please let me know and I'll be able to email it to you.
okay. Anybody?
I'm
ahead.
sorry, it's Daniela, IS 201. How is
What's up?
everyone?
Fine, darling, what's up?
Joined a little late. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
I believe there's a form that we have to fill out for this audit because they have to sign, and that would be found on the DOE website. Is that what Tamara said?
Most
yep.
of the, because you know how we normally had like that PTA binder that we
Right.
get
Yeah.
at the beginning. A
Right,
lot of times the information should actually be in that binder. If you
Mhm.
do not have that binder, because a lot of people are new, I was able to actually make copies of it and give it to a few schools. But I do know Bill
Okay.
said he has extras in his office, so I don't know if
okay.
Is
he'd
there
be
any
able to maybe set up
What-
meetings and you guys could pick it up.
Whoever
there-
needs,
Go ahead.
Email-
whoever needs that, you could let me know and I'll try to scan it in and forward it to you.
Okay,
Okay, so
Yeah,
I,
if not, I have a copy myself that I could send to everybody.
perfect. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you. You know what? I might as well ask one more question.
sure, go ahead.
When does that audit due? When is it, do we have to do it by?
By June.
By June,
Okay,
So
so we
like
have,
technically you're supposed to do it before like your June meeting.
right,
Okay.
So you could present it at your last meeting so that everybody knows that you, because that way you have time, if you have discrepancies, you could go through all of that. Yeah.
okay, thank you. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
don't be sorry, you're fine, that's great.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So I'm new at this. I don't really know how to go about the audit, but if there's only 3 PTA members in our school, which is the board, do we ask 3 parents to help
Yeah.
us with the audit?
You
Okay.
can. You can
Yeah.
ask your parents that, yes.
It can't be your board. So your
Can't be a
board,
board
your
member, right,
3 outside parents are not on your
Yeah.
board,
right,
would meet with your treasurer. So you should have all your financials, like, make sure you
Mhm.
have all your financials like in an organized bunch. That way it really goes faster. It helps. And there's, like I said, there's a checklist and it tells you exactly what you need and they just check it off. And they're supposed to put they sign the bottom, they put their name, the date, the order was done. And then you keep that in your financial. You should get a copy to your principal. And then you keep your copy in your part of your financials, because PTA records, you're supposed to keep between 5 to 7 years. For
Right.
like anybody that graduates out that comes in, they have a record of everything.
right,
Okay.
Like I
thank
said, I
you.
have your email, Joanna. I could send you the
yeah.
audit file if you need it.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right, since we're talking, anything else, Tamara? Thank you. All right. Yes,
Do you
Jim?
guys know
Yes.
that anybody that's a Title I school,
Mhm.
that all your Title I committees are supposed to be PAC committees? So with you doing elections, PTA elections, and
Right,
some of you might be doing SLT elections, you also have to do your Title I PAC
okay,
elections. So many of us are going to be having, if not 2 different elections before June, we're going to be having 3. So do you guys know that?
I know that out of all of our schools, only 4 of us are not Title I. I don't know who else is Title I on this right at the moment.
I am a Title I school. And I
You're
was made
Title I.
aware.
I know I'm not
Yes.
Title I.
I am, I believe Danielle is. Yeah, so you guys, if you should have a chair for your PAC committee, but you guys have to do PAC, Title I PAC elections. And just so you know, you should be receiving information that was given out today at the DLT meeting about Title I. They're gonna be putting training for Title I's in the that's gonna be part of the CEP, I believe. So look out for that following next year. But there's a lot of information about Title I because we have until I believe, May 3rd to put in all our purchase orders for anything that you plan for your Title I. And then after that, there's nothing you could do. You have to put in, so you basically have to plan everything by May 3rd and pay them if you still have Title I money. So if you reach out to your Title I chair, and I believe you guys should be having, your chair should be having a DPAC meeting next week. So they'll share the information that they have from that meeting with you guys. So just be aware of that. So you're gonna have to do that. Okay, guys?
All right, thanks, Tamara. Is there anything else for the audit? I know in the chat there was something which brings up to our next part, which is the upcoming elections. And some of you are new to that. Is there anyone who, I mean, as far as I know, CPAC said that we're going to hold elections in the spring as usual. We just have to, it's going to be virtual. Is there anyone who has not done it last time and needs some help, or? Or anybody who doesn't have a PTA, who doesn't think they're gonna need somebody because the PTA is all graduating out?
Do you guys know that you're supposed to have a nominating chair, right? Between 1 to 2 people for your virtual elections.
Right.
So if you have people graduating out, you could use those people since they're leaving the school, and they could be the nominating chairs.
Right.
For your meetings. But remember, you guys have to do notify your membership about those meetings. And with the new way that we're doing virtual election, there's Bill, isn't there like certain codes we're supposed to give them, so we could make sure that they're verified members of the school and they actually have kids in the school. Yes, for the PTA meetings. Yes. Remember how
they have to, it's a very detailed procedure that you gotta verify them, that they are actual parents or guardians. And then they were supposed to log on using that code or information so they could see it. And then when the election comes, those people without the code will be moved over to a break room while the other ones who are still in the meeting could vote. That gets very, very detail oriented, and it's very, you need practice. You should get a few people together to go try moving people from meeting to waiting room and then back, and see how you could change the names of the people when they're coming in. The main thing is if they had the code in advance, they could log on using that code so you can see it right off. In this case, when you're looking at the screen, okay, Vito, Karen, like you don't know them, then you got to check to see if they're actual parents, and then you could, being the host, rename them with the code or something like that. So it gets very time consuming when you have the meeting going on. So that's why it's recommended that you will have the code given to parents who requested for it in advance.
What about having them just sign on with their kids?
No.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that now?
No, not
Yeah.
I would check that. That may be good also.
Right.
That's what we did the first time around. Parents signed in, but they had their kids, their number.
Yeah,
Right.
We didn't need anybody because nobody ran against us, but
that's the thing.
they never do.
Probably a majority of the schools, it's a lot of work for something that may not be needed, but there are some schools that do, and then you have to give the opportunity to everybody to know what they have to do.
Yeah, we just sent out a letter asking every parent to sign in with their child's number, and then that was it.
The main
and
thing
everybody did. We only get like 20 people a meeting, so it wasn't wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, well, that's positive about a nominating committee. You would get a feel of how many parents are volunteering in advance, but the nominating committee is still going to be open until the time of elections. But if you get a feel of, oh, you got so many parents, a lot more parents than positions, then you know that you're going to probably need the breakout rooms and the verification. But if you only have one or none, then you know that you're probably going to not need it.
Right.
Because when you go through the PTA elections, you could also let them know that there are other positions available, like SLT parent positions and Title I. If you're a Title I school, you could be a Title I PAC chair. So there's a need for many parents, but there's only 3 mandatory PTA board members. If there's like 4 or 5, you could say you could always sit in on the SLTs or be Title I to help out that way.
I have a question. We
Yes.
don't have a lot of people that want to run for SLT
Mm.
the last time around, and we have 2 open spots right now. Nobody wants them. Now, let's just say we cannot find anybody for those SLT spots. What do we do?
You're not in compliance.
Well, they can't officially vote on any, no consent. They're still working consensus. You got to leave those positions. You're gonna try to have an expedited election with
But
incoming.
if nobody wants it, like if we have nobody that wants it, because
What
we've had that.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. So okay, Jamie, how many people are on your team?
I don't know. Jen Jansen is the one that takes care of SLT, and I do these meetings. But
Right.
there are 2 seats that are opening up, and
opening-
nobody. Yeah, they're up for election in for next year. They're leaving the school. I think one is leaving the school, and one is just their seats up.
Right.
Nobody else is running for this. Nobody
Then,
wants it.
then in
We do have
September,
time, but
in September,
You
when
can
you
run
have
it
new
sometime,
parents,
right.
you can have an expedited
again.
election. And
Yeah.
take the nominations from the floor and getting the parents to volunteer.
okay, great.
Right.
Wasn't sure about that.
It's the same thing if you don't have enough board members.
Right.
As long as you have one, even the treasurer, even the secretary, no president, you still have a PTA in
Right.
existence. So
Okay.
that's good. It's a lot harder to get it starting from scratch. But then
Well, we have everybody. We have people running for.
so
their seats
as long
even,
as that's one in the school, that's fine. And then come September, you will have expedited elections.
Okay, yeah, it's just SLT that we have the problem. Okay.
Yeah, then you use an expedited election for the SLT positions. Let the parents know what it entails. I don't know if they
Right.
may still have Zoom meetings for that, because that will maybe entice more parents to volunteer, because then they don't have to commit themselves to a lot of time traveling.
I have a question. It's Daniela from IS 201 again. Can we do expedited elections for PTA in September as well?
Yes, any position that you have open, yes.
Yeah, because like we haven't been in the building all year and we have no one interested. So
Yeah,
I would-
that's really the case until,
the 6th graders to come in September will bring in more parents.
yes.
You just
Every
have-
year, there are some schools that has to have expedited elections. It's in the chancellor's reg that you could have it. So,
Daniela,
and a lot of times it's when you have the orientation and then you have PTA election combined, because that first meeting when you're having the parents in for for
Right.
the principal, that's when you could really start off. Because if there is no executive board member, then the principal has to announce a PTA election and then go through the process for the expedited election. But if there is a PTA board members, then they could pursue it.
So, okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
And then with expedited elections, I think President's Council will be able to support if you need some support from them.
Okay,
Thank-
so, I'm sorry, someone's trying to get in, Ruby from 506. Someone
Oh,
needs to
Danielle?
join.
oh, thank you.
Just what you can also do is, if you don't have, somebody for every position, what you can do is, as long as you vote in somebody for the president position,
Mhm.
that means you're in compliance with having a PTA. You see what I'm saying?
So-
So if you
so
get the president and then you wait till September to get the other positions.
Okay. So I would have to do a whole election just for president?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try to do the mandatory positions first, and then if you want, then you whatever you don't get,
Mhm.
you could expedite in September.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
I also have a question.
Sure. Yeah, Anna, what's up?
I'm from 503.
Yeah.
At my school, we never
Yeah.
had a SLT election. So I'm a little confused by the whole procedure. I've been there
Okay.
2 years. So what happens is the principal cherry picks parents
No,
to
wrong.
be in SLT. So that's how it's been since I started. I actually became part of SLT because she told me, okay, you want to be in SLT, and she just put me right in.
Do you have in your bylaws, your SLT bylaws, does it say it's a 2-year term?
She is the chair of the SLT.
Okay. Do
So
you know, okay, so here's the, okay, so some SLTs are 2-year terms, some are 1-year term, they have an election every year. My school, for instance, is a 2-year term, all of us are up as of June. We have a team of 10, which is 5 and 5. 5 teachers, 5 parents. The thing is that you need to get in touch. You need to see what the bylaws say. You have to get a copy of that bylaws. And if you don't have one, you have to ask your principal for one. The principal should not be the chairperson of the SLT. We have had this discussion once before, and I was informed that no, it should be, everything's a voted on election. Nobody should be handpicked. It should be opened up to everybody in the school. Everybody has the right to run for SLT.
okay.
Nobody, yeah.
And
Go ahead.
also for the PAC committee,
Yeah.
she actually at a meeting back when the building was open,
Right.
she had a coffee with the principal, and she picked people to be in the PAC committee and told them it was only one meeting and they never had to show up again. So we
Right.
never had elections for a PAC committee either.
Oh.
So I'm wondering how that works. Also, it was kind of confusing because teachers actually vote for Title I, and I had to reach out to find out. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that like, do the
Yeah.
administrations get all this information, or is it just something that they just don't want to follow? I mean, are they getting the right information?
Hold on.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the Title I information that we received, we did not receive a lot of it until like October or November. So a lot of us were still trying to figure out what to do for Title I. But Title I is basically run similar in the elections process is similar to SLT. For your PTA elections, parents and teachers vote for the board members, right? For your SLT elections, it's only the parents. For your Title I PAC committee, it's only the parents that vote. The faculty have no say in anything. And for your Title I PAC committee, the minimum amount you need to have for that committee are 4 parents. Okay, so you need to vote in 4 parents, and the parents that get voted onto that committee, they need to have an election between each other to figure out who is going to be the chair and who's going to be the co-chair, because they have to have somebody that's going to be representing them at the DPAC, and then they have an alternate just in case if that person can't come to those meetings. But those two, and for the Title I, it cannot be the PTA president. The PTA
Tamara,
president cannot be a chair or co-chair.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Ruby Hernandez from 506 has been trying to get in for the past 5 minutes.
Really? She's not popping up on mine. Vito, is she popping up on you?
She's not in the waiting room. Does she have the right link?
She should have. It's the one I sent her.
Okay. Because it's not, usually I get it at the admit at the bottom and it's not showing up.
There's nobody in the waiting room.
Vito, could you send the link over again to her?
Sent the link. All right. Where are we? Okay. Joanna, to your question, yes, SLT, like what Tamara was just explaining, was the president or co-president should be on, and then the other 4 parents are elected on depending on how many are on your team. Does that help? If you have another question, ask.
Yes, that helps. I was just asking because
Sure,
I just started a few months ago.
Okay.
And I don't think I can do it for next year, depending on my work schedule. So I just want to make sure that
So
we have some things.
Right. Do you have are you just the president or are you co-president? Do you have co-presidents? How is yours? You're just
No. Right. To my knowledge, there was somebody in the beginning of the year and then they weren't able to do it. So I jumped in like in February.
Okay, but you're the president right now?
Yes.
Okay, so you're automatically on the SLT,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So if next year you can't do it, then you have to, then are you gonna run again? That's the reason why I'm asking the question. Are you running again?
I don't believe
Oh,
so, but I just don't want to say yes or no
Oh, no,
because I
no, that's
don't know
fine.
if I have to go into the office coming
Right, you
September,
just-
I can't do it. So
Because what I'm saying is one of the things you should put in the PTA, it's PTA, excuse me, in the president's little info bio is that's part of the PTA president's or co-president's job is to sit on the SLT.
yes, that's okay.
A lot of PT, they don't realize that they kind of, even though they're separate entities, it's the same, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and that's one job. PTA presidents or co-president is not elected on the SLT, it's an automatic.
Okay. So once they if they get voted into
Yeah.
PTA president, they're also SLT.
Right, they're SLT, and then however other PTA members, parent members after that gets elected on, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, anytime. Anybody else?
I have a question for anybody. Do we know if there's any parents on here that need translations for these meetings? Because
I think the only one I knew was one was translating for somebody else. May was translating for somebody else, but that was about it. No one has come forward.
She's the parent coordinator of
Right.
160, so she needs, she's helping the parent member
Right.
who needs Mandarin translation.
Exactly, thank you. That's the only
okay,
one I'm
because
aware
I
of.
actually received information where we
Oh.
are allowed to have translations
Okay,
from the DOE for President's Council meetings. I would just need to be notified so I could fill out the paperwork to send it in.
okay,
So if anybody
You gotta
would
vote,
need
Tamara.
translations, can you please let us know?
Tamara, the DOE employee has to do it, so give me all the information. I need the link for the meeting, the password for the meeting, and another number for the translation to be used on. Because the way it works is like the parent and the translator will call up to the other number, and that's where the translation occurs.
But I thought we had the translation, the interpretation that's part of the Zoom, that you can't use it through there. You won't need a separate number if we activate our interpretation feature on the Zoom platform.
Okay, I'm not as familiar with the Zoom platform. I've seen it for the CEC meeting, so I'm not familiar how translation. You mean the translator comes on board and then they hook up to hear, the parent could hear the translator directly?
Yes, and you could do simultaneously
Okay.
the translations.
maybe
What
that's
happened?
why
There's
the first-
like a little globe.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the first, that's why the first thing they ask is what platform you're using. So if it's
Right.
Zoom, they know what it is. If it's not Zoom, then.
Yeah, Zoom has it, and we have it, and it's a feature that I've been using
Okay, good.
for my
Good
school
to know.
since August.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something some of the schools might be interested in. So if you do have a Zoom DOE email and that's not activated, contact Christian because she could get it activated for you because
I also was looking at Google Meet.
she's a and
Yeah.
a school. So just make sure you check in your settings.
right.
Tamara, you seem to be more familiar with Zoom. Is there closed captioning on Zoom?
Yeah, yes, there is. And you could save the transcripts and yeah.
In that language?
No, it only does it in English.
Okay.
It doesn't save it in the language.
Gotcha.
What I've been experimenting with, because in Google Meet, you could
It does it in
close caption, and then you could choose the language you want to close caption with. So even though, like they will hear, they will see, they could read it in their home language. And when they speak, the person everybody else who was on closed caption, like Janine, could look at it and see it in English. That's a nice feature. So I got to explore more of that because there's a lot of little glitches. And I found out that, okay, one of the things is it has to be in Google Chrome is your browser because the Edge or the Internet Explorer does not work. So Chrome, we're trying to put together something detail. So if
Right.
you could go that way, at least they'll be able to be automatically translated in 100 languages that the Google Translate does for you. But you got to experiment with that, because when it doesn't understand what you're saying, they
Right.
just translated it literally and it's jibble jabble. Okay, but that's something
Yeah.
Sylvia and I are looking into, because we're
Okay.
experimenting more on it and we're finding all the little glitches, and hopefully we could get some tutorial snapshots and everything so you could experiment yourself, because that would be an excellent platform. So because
Right.
when you do the translation, use the translation unit to come on board, they can only provide 3 languages.
Okay. That's it.
I'm sorry, can I say something?
Yes,
Sure.
In the Zoom meeting, you
Mhm.
can add interpreter. And then when you set up the interpreter, there's a global, and you can put me in the Chinese, Spanish, whatever language. Then we will in the room, and then I can, when you say something, I can translate in Chinese in the same time, and you won't hear it.
Yeah, that's
It's
yeah,
in
that's
the
exactly what I
Zoom
was
meeting
saying.
setting.
Yeah,
that's what
right.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay, that's the
So next
technical
time I don't
difference.
have to type.
And so they'll hear
They
to
will
go,
hear me.
yeah, it's
They
easier.
will
It's so
hear
much easier.
me,
And
and then I will hear you. And then they come to me. When they see the global sign, it show Chinese, Spanish. When you go to the Zoom meeting setting, all the way down at interpreter.
Okay.
This is how we holding our PTA meeting.
Right.
Chinese,
Okay.
Spanish, whatever language. Then when they click on that, they already come to me, and then I can translate right away.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we put together something step by step and send it out to the schools.
Yeah, because I use another phone because it's a lot, so I use the cell phone to translate for her.
Right.
Sometimes it's too much for me to typing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
just an idea. Yeah,
No,
this
you-
is
no.
how we holding our meeting.
hey, Bill, if you need any help with that for the Zoom, since I could help you with that. It's
okay,
yeah,
good. Because I want to practice with it. and get
it's
some
really easy and it's so much fun.
Okay. I was playing around with Google Meet and it was so much fun doing it in multiple language. I was doing it. Unfortunately, I can't read Chinese that well, so I didn't know how well. I switched to Italian because that's what I had in elementary and middle and junior high school and high school. So I understand Italian, reading Italian better than Chinese. And Sylvia at the other end had her on Polish. So we trying to verify how well the translation was working.
Okay.
And it seems to be pretty good. It's gotten better. So, okay, good. Tamara, I will be in contact with you on that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies and gents. Let's move on. Is there anything else at the moment? All right. From the last meeting, we discussed that we need a secretary for this board. Is there anybody out there in that lovely pool of you lovely and sophisticated people that would be willing to take the job for that next 2 months? Just so we have it on record. Can we do, hold on, hold on 1 second, Tamara. I know you're gonna, go ahead, say what you're gonna say, because I'm checking the chat.
I
Go ahead.
don't believe we could. I said, I don't think we could have elections because Christian said at the last meeting that you
What?
actually
That I didn't what? What did I do?
have to send out a 10-day meeting. There was a no
We
meeting
did
notice
send
that
out a
went out
10-day.
that specified. No, you didn't.
And I had election on there.
I did not. No, a
right,
written
that's
meeting
fine.
notice with election and
I'm
the
sorry.
secretary position and what it entails. It wasn't sent out to any. Did anybody in this meeting receive a meeting notice about election?
It was on the agenda. That doesn't count? Then that's fine. We'll just stick it with nobody.
No, it has to actually be a.
Then we'll just
Christian
give it.
said
then
last
we'll
meeting, it
just-
has to be a written notice
All right.
specifying, just like we do for all our PTA meetings, that
Then
we're
we're just-
having expedited elections.
All right, then we're just gonna leave it as long as is, and we're just gonna move on. Okay. With that said, Mr. Stowe, are you still on?
Mm,
Yeah, I'm here, Janine.
All right. Do you want to say anything about the CEC quick?
I don't think so. I think the only thing I'll mention
Good.
in 10 seconds is that we're just continue to work on the parent survey. And so please, all of you, just sort of keep that in mind. At some point, we'll have our questions done. We'll have the vendor picked, and we'll be trying to distribute that to as many parents as we can, and hopefully get some really good feedback on the district.
Okay. Thank you.
Janine, I just
Yes, we
looked at that email. It said recording secretary June 22. I don't believe that's notice that we're having an election. I don't understand how that's not notice.
That's fine.
I mean, but who's going to do it? I mean, Tamara, can you act as recording secretary for the next 2 months since you're vice president?
Well, that's actually not how it goes according to our bylaws.
Well, then-
According to succession, Janine.
Yes, go ahead. I'm listening.
Supposed to refill in any position
Okay, so then that's fine. So then I will take it from now till June.
that is open. So we'll be recording secretary.
That's fine. Okay, Mr. Chin, is there anything else that we need to know?
Well, the superintendent is at a
Yes.
meeting right now.
Yes, that's
So I
right.
just
Yeah.
want to give you some general information that he has
Yes.
given to the CEC the other day.
Please do. Yes.
The state exam this year is going to be opt-in for the exam. So even students who are in school, they have to opt in to take the test. Those students are remote. If they want to opt in, then they have to come into the school building that day or half a day or whatever. The tests are going to be only 1 day each, one for previous year was multiple days for some. And all the questions will be multiple choices. And this data, well, according to the state, they're not going to be, well, according to the DOE, New York City DOE, they're not going to be used for promotional criteria, for grading criteria, or screen school criteria. It's just for information purposes. The superintendent also is having an assessment, an online assessment for all students. He has mentioned that because it's going to be similar to the state test, where it is not going to be held accountable for promotional criteria, for grading purposes, or for screen programs. It's just to give the district an idea of what the needs are of our students, because it will be used for planning purposes for September. Parents will also get a detailed report on where their students stand and where their strong points, their weak points, and what the recommendations are. It's called iReady, and all the schools, the majority of our schools already use iReady for assessment. The other ones are going to go in just for this online assessment. It's going to be at most an hour and a half long, and it's going to be done by students on the computer. Summer school is going to be summer school for all, where that it's not defined yet exactly if it's going, every school is going to be open or some schools will be open, but it's not going to be just for those students who need it for promotional purposes. It's going to be used for enrichment also. This is to get the students more comfortable to coming back into the school before September. And the enrichment programs could be trips and stuff. So that's more to be defined later. And the closing of schools, they changed it from 2 incidents, unrelated COVID cases in the school to 4. And they, excuse me. And then there's no 24-hour closure during the investigation. Okay, that's all the details.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. I appreciate it. All right, now the session is open for questions or comments. If anybody has any
Janine?
concerns, yes, Mr. Vito.
Hi, how are you? Does
Good, Dom.
anybody have graduation? Is everybody graduation issues? Is anyone using MCU Park here? I know Diker is. Tamara, you guys using MCU Park?
Yes.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you were, I thought you were an aviator. What happened?
We can't, they don't have enough room for our students, so we
Oh,
have to do
wow.
it.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
So is Diker here? I think, are
Yep,
they using
I'm
it?
right.
So we're going,
So go ahead.
Diker is here and we are doing it at MCU Park.
Daniela,
Yeah.
you know, they're requiring a 72-hour, a test for 72
Yes.
hours or a proof of vaccination.
yep,
I've
Mhm.
set up, I'm in the process of setting up, Tamara, this is for you too. I'm in the process of setting up mobile buses to come in front of the school 3 days before for testing as many as 300 to 500 people. Would that be
Okay.
helpful to you?
I will run it by my principal and let you know.
It's
most
just a
of our schools,
courtesy. It's just a courtesy to parents. They don't, the
Right.
school doesn't have to be involved. It's just going to be parked in front of the school.
Right.
Right. I still would want to speak to my principal before I commit to anything like that.
No, I'm just
No,
offering it to
right.
you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. I think it's a good idea, actually. It's convenient for people to go right in front of school, but I
Right.
can get back to you on that one.
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
we don't have, most of our kids are remote, so, and since it's middle school, a lot of those kids walk to school themselves, so. Yeah.
About that, Tamara, you have to look into that because from what I understand, from what we were told, because we're looking into Fort Hamilton Army Base, my principal said that those who are remote may not be able to attend graduation
Why?
Yeah, I was told the same thing.
because they're remote.
Yep,
They
they're not considered a
chose
part
to
of the
be
school.
home. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's another, yep, I know. I didn't say
Yep.
it was the right, I didn't say it was the right answer, ladies and gents.
Yeah, awful.
I would be, as a parent, I would be
Furious.
furious. Thank you, Jamie. I'm trying to be really nice.
Enraged that we were not told this from the beginning. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
That's what we were
exactly.
told as well, that if we did anything, because we only have 100 and something kids, we don't have,
I mean, yeah.
we're not
same
going to
here.
rent something huge.
Yeah,
But
right.
we were told that we're not going to do anything outdoors because it wouldn't be worth it because we only have 20 kids in the school.
Right.
And any child who is remote is not considered part of the school technically. So
Correct.
they would not be allowed to attend any graduation function. That's
Correct.
what the guidance that was
Anybody
given.
let me know where exactly this is coming from?
It was in the principal's
Yes.
weekly memo.
Yep.
It was
Mine-
that's
Vito, listen to me. Mine's a brand new principal. She would not pull this out of the air. Trust
Yep.
me on this. She
but where
looking
would
at-
that come from? It came from the didn't come from the superintendent, it come from the
came from the
chancellor.
chancellor. Yep. Now, that's what I was
Awful.
really kind of, yeah, exactly.
And they
Was
still have
that
to be
just
included.
today? Was
though.
that just now?
Well,
be-
my AP told me this a month ago.
Yeah.
And he said that
because that's
they
why we
were
have to live
told that
stream.
the remote kids could not be included in person, but their names were to still be announced.
Right.
So we would be sitting there for 20 kids and then having to announce 100 other kids that are not there. And if
Right.
we did a virtual, then the children who are in school would still have to be announced on the virtual. So we would have to hold 2 separate graduations and include every child in both of them. So I think that ours is going to continue to be virtual.
I
Yeah,
just
my
wanted to-
AP told me about a month ago. They're not allowed to be included.
Yes, Anna. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anna.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. I
That's
just
okay.
wanted to add to that my principal also stated that, and that's why they hired a company that would stream it. So even kids that would be from home it would be like they're there, but they're not really there. So yes, it's
Yes.
something that a lot of principals are letting us know.
Okay. With that, this is just some information. I'm just throwing this out there for anybody because I'm sure everybody's in the same boat. Mr. Chin, I'm glad you're listening in on this. Like we said, we have the option to do outside. We're looking into renting the space at Fort Hamilton Army Base. We have 167 kids. We do, however, have to live stream it. And in order to live stream it, some of these companies have to be a DOE vendor, and they can run the upwards of $8,000 to $10,000. I don't know about your PTAs, but I don't have, some PTAs don't have that money. So now somebody was saying if the PTA pays for it, there was a way to go around it, but everybody has to follow the rules. The reason for the live streaming, not only for the remote kids, it's because in our particular instance, only 2 guests per graduate are allowed to attend. I don't know if that helps anybody. I don't know if anybody else has any other issues. I mean, that's what we're looking at the moment. Anybody else have any? This is open forum, ladies and gents. No, everybody all became crickets all of a sudden.
Same here. That's the thing. Our
Yeah.
principal they actually have a venue, the soccer rooftop. They'll be using the outside space of that. And it's
Right.
2 guests per child, per graduate.
Right.
So a lot of parents were concerned that they have like children, so they
Right.
wouldn't be attending.
Exactly. So for as much as we're all moving forward, we're kind of taking like 6 steps backwards with all this. I know there's still some other decisions as far as, I mean, that's for us. I mean, I know high school is a whole nother ball game. I don't know what they're going to do. I do know that as of April 26th, the opt-in kids who decide to opt back into school should be starting. Mr. Chin, am I correct on that?
Yes,
Okay.
but I haven't heard about the 6 feet to 3 feet. There's
That's
nothing
another-
on that,
yep.
so that's still
Mhm.
6 feet right now. Because if they were
Right.
able to do it for 3 feet for elementary schools, some of those schools, kids could go in more days.
Right.
But right now, that's on pause.
Right, exactly. From what I understand too with that is K to 5, if you're opting back in, it's 3 feet, but you have to have 6 feet for lunch.
Yeah.
6 through 8 is a different thing as well. What else? Anybody else? Comments, questions, concerns? As far as the elections going forward for everybody, I'm going to put together an email with a checklist of everything that should be included as far as the financials that need to be done, the president, what the responsibilities of the presidents for those who are new. You guys have my personal email. Please, anytime you think of a question, do not hesitate to drop a line. I will answer back as quickly as possible. All of us, myself, Vito, Tamara, we're all available to help you guys with your virtuals because as a graduate parent, I can do that. I'm going to do my own nominating committee because I don't think I'm going to get anybody else.
Janine,
Also,
I was,
Christians, oh, sorry.
What's up, Tamara? What's up?
I said, Christian also mentioned that if you need help with elections, that FACE
Yes.
is available.
Exactly. Yes, very good. Yes, FACE is available. Anna, you had something to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yes, I also reached out to Christian from
Yeah.
FACE to help us with financials, like especially the
Okay.
audit, in case
Right.
anyone needs help, guidance.
Okay.
I also wanted to ask, has anybody been able to do any fundraising, or is that something, even if it's outdoors, like virtual? I mean, any kind of fundraising at all?
I know from my particular school, we did online fundraising. I know Tamara's school has done online fundraising. Picture Day, I know we had to have our remote kids go to the studio. The in-house kids could take their photos. We just had that this week. I'm not sure. Does anybody else have any other fundraising that they've done that they could share? As far as outside, I think it runs into an issue of permits. You have to have a permit for it. But I could be.
We just did Miss Chocolate online and we did pictures. We haven't really done much.
No, and we did our membership through Cheddar Up. That was our other thing. Anybody else? Oh, and Scholastic. And Ruby says she did Scholastic. Okay, good. And Meadow Farms. Yeah, exactly.
Janine,
Yeah.
how are you?
All right, how are you, my darling? What's up?
Quick question
Sure.
about graduation. If
Yes.
the school is doing it in their schoolyard, does it still count for the remote kids, or is it just for those kids?
We
No.
were told we couldn't do anything at all outside,
Thank you,
any type
Jamie.
of graduation, even in the building with
Right.
kids that are remote. All kids that are remote are considered not part of the school.
Not cool. These
I know.
kids were together all these years.
Can I make a comment?
No.
No.
Okay. I'll go away.
Go ahead,
All
Vito,
ears.
what? Go ahead,
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
The
what?
kids who are remote are being allowed into the building to take this stupid state test.
100%,
Meaningless.
100%, Vito.
Okay.
And
So,
regions
so,
and
so there's
SAT.
any reason
Hold
that they gave now is moot.
Right,
So it's just a matter of us, banding together and letting them know what we want.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're going to change their mind, because how many parents kept their kids home and are now finding out that if there is any type of a ceremony, even if it is outdoor, socially distanced and safe, that their kid cannot be a part of that.
And that's not fair to the teachers either.
No.
You know,
that's, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it's probably half of a liability issue. I'm sure it's, but listen,
yeah, but if you have the capacity and you're following all guidelines,
Right.
and everyone's tested and, vaccinated like myself.
Mhm.
Totally
I don't
agree
have
with
a child ready for graduation, but I do know the kids that are graduating that need to be together, not,
you. Right.
And that's
Listen,
nonsense that they're not part of the school. Of course they're part of the school.
They've been part of the school for years.
I am not disagreeing with you.
I know, it's not us.
Bill, can
No,
you find out
listen.
from the superintendent?
What happened,
I'll
Tamara?
Check to see where,
Can you find out from the superintendent, like, what we can do?
You can,
I'll
yeah,
ask. That's all I can do. I will ask and he will ask.
right.
All right,
exactly.
thank
Of
you.
course, Vito, what you're saying, it's perfectly true. You're allowed to come
Right.
in for the state. That means, hey, if you come in for the state test, does that mean that you're part of the school?
Yes.
No, that type of stuff.
No, you're part of the state.
Ooh, you go, girl.
Well, Alice just said it in the chat. You need
I
to
know
know
she
permission
did.
slip
I know,
to
because
get it.
Alice is, I know.
And
Go
that
ahead.
locked you in. So why not a permission slip for that? Because there are some parents who don't want their kids to
I-
be in public, and there are parents who are even in the state at this point.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they can
right.
find a way around this.
I'm getting the impression that each principal is taking it upon themselves how to run this. This is my impression. I had to fill out a Google form saying it was okay for my son to take the state exams. Okay. Then I get another Google form that says, well, you can pick and choose what state exams you're going to sit for. Are you kidding me right now? So if I don't want him to take math, but he can take science and he doesn't have to take ELA, then why am I bothering? I mean, he was in 5 days. He just got told he's on 10-day quarantine now because he got in contact with somebody. I'm like, really? Seriously? I'm like, this is so out of control right now, but that's beside the point.
But the gyms and everything else are open.
Well, this is my other concern. It's like, nah. Yeah.
We
I
hear
think
you.
we're all on the same
We hear
page.
you. I mean, listen, I would love for everything to go back to normal, whatever normal is at this
Me
point.
too.
All right. So as far as, Bill's gonna look into the graduations as soon as he lets me know what I think it should be. I think parents need to know across the board. I do. And I'm not saying principals, I'm saying it should come directly from whoever that this is what's going on. Because this is just, anybody else who feels that, does anybody else have any other thing else? Besides graduations, elections, audits, financials, other issues that they need help with? Please speak up.
Well, I would like to know
Sure.
if CEC elections are coming up.
Correct.
And I have, in our school, there's not many parents that have my school's accounts. And I know the parent coordinator is working on that.
Right.
And the last meeting, she said they had, they were getting more parents and signing in, right?
Right.
But
Okay.
my concern is also that, for example, I have a my school's account, but my husband, all the information comes to me. So he needs to open one up too. So I think parents need to be informed that both parents need to have an account in order to vote. I also would like to know if there's any kind, I reached out to Sherry for a workshop, but she hasn't gotten back to me.
Okay.
So, because I would like a workshop for my, for the families at my school, so they could know like the role of the CEC and get more information
Okay.
on how they can vote, because we have a lot of families that really don't know what the CEC stands for and what their responsibilities are, and we need to start holding them accountable. And the more people that have this information, the more
Right.
people will learn what they need to do, especially families.
Right. She didn't, Cherie Gibson didn't get back to you?
No, I did email her earlier this morning, so
Okay,
I'm
because
still
I
waiting.
know she presented a whole PowerPoint at our last, was it our last meeting? I think it was a, Rito, Tamara, somebody help me out here?
It was January's meeting.
Wow, was that far back? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Woo, okay then.
So yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think it was that
maybe
far back. Yes. Who's talking?
oh no, that was me. I said maybe Sherry could send her the
That's what I
PowerPoint
was-
presentation.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, but hopefully she'll email you back with that, and this way you can, yeah. Yes, each parent for the CEC election, which I was going to bring up, which is each parent in the household should have their own My Student account. For, yes.
But
Yeah,
only
you-
one parent can vote per child, right?
No, I don't. No, I don't think that was correct. Only one parent? No,
It's per child. So,
per child. It's only
So
one.
right.
Oh,
So
one
it's,
vote per student. Okay,
well,
then
well, they vote for 3 choices, but it's
It doesn't
only per
really-
child. So if Morgan is in 7th grade, so when
So
I
if
go to
Kim-
Morgan's account,
right,
I'll have 3 choices. But if Kim goes to Morgan's account, if I've already voted, she can't vote.
right. That's what I mean. Right. So it doesn't really matter. So if only one parent has the account, one parent has the account. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless someone else can correct me on that.
No, I think you're right.
I think you're right. That's why they're focusing on at least one family member to
Right.
sign up for the nicest, no, for the student account.
Right.
Because it's easy, that's the goal, to get at least one family member signed up. So at least one person could vote.
And my other question is,
Sure.
where can I send parents to see who the candidates are? Like to listen to what the candidates have to say, like the candidate forum?
The candidate form was recorded. So
Right.
you should ask Cheryl how to get those recordings. I gotta see, like,
You would have that information too.
if we had that, which we may have been given that information also, but I gotta go back and look.
Can that information be sent to all parent leaders? Because we need to give this information to our parents and families.
Okay. Yes, I will.
At least a link for them
Yeah.
to go to. I
Yes,
know that the CC election, the presentation that they forwarded to schools, it's in the process of being translated within the next 2 weeks. So,
Oh, it's on the, okay. Yeah, it's on the.
so
check.
hopefully before May 1st, when the election period starts, that at least they could have it and look at it and understand what they're voting for in their home language.
Yeah, there's a website on the chat if everybody would take a look. Thank you, Alice. All right. Anybody else, questions, comments, concern? Okay. All right. I didn't
Hey,
have any.
Janine, it's
Yes.
Paulette. Sorry. Can I
Yes.
just make, it's Paulette. Can I just make a shout out to let everyone know that there's been updates to the PEBT benefits? And for those of our families who may have thrown away their EBT cards from last year because we thought it was a one and done, I'm going to link the website so that people can actually go there and get the phone number to get a replacement card.
Okay, yeah,
The
that's fine.
rollout is going to
Mhm.
be towards the end of April, and it's going to be the same phase-in approach where it's like for those who are already getting SNAP, it'll be reloaded onto their SNAP, a $420 stipend per child on top of their regular benefits.
Okay.
And then the next wave would be those who are receiving Medicare services, and then the last wave is the ones that actually have the cards mailed out. So for those who still have their cards, it will be uploaded onto those existing cards if you do not contact the department to get a replacement card. And and just, watch out for it. I know last year, there was a lot of our families who said that they didn't necessarily need it. Well, Senator Gurnardis actually opened up a community pantry right in front of his office. So if you personally don't need the, this particular benefit, then please purchase food, donate it to the community pantry, donate it to your community, church pantry, whatever it is, because we have a ton of hungry families struggling to put food on their table right now. So I just wanted to make sure I elevated that. And also, on the citywide council front, we wanted to share that the Department of Translation and Interpretations are now translating all IEPs and documents that are related to the IEP process through Central, so that you can actually get your IEP in the language that you speak at home, and it could be you could read it in your native language as well, and it's at no cost to the school. So I know in the past it's always been a struggle, because just translating the IEP document itself, because it was a legal document, costs almost $3,000, and that is no longer an obstacle. So for those of us who have children with IEPs, and for communities that, are multi-language learners as well, know that that is a resource, and I will put in the email and the help desk number if you need translation at your next IEP meeting, or if you need help facilitating the IEP process and need someone to help you translate all that stuff.
Thank you, Paula. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. All right, ladies and gents, if there are no other questions, comments, or announcements, I would like to see a show of hands to adjourn.
Oh,
Yes. Someone just speak?
Janine.
Yeah,
Was
what's
there
up?
anything in writing in regards to the graduation and only the children in school to attend, or is this just like someone said?
No, from what I understand, it was in the principal's weekly, and then it was my principal who said it. Yeah, so my principal said it to us at a meeting. That's how I knew.
Okay.
So
I
you
have
have
a phone call with my AP right after this, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah,
I'll see what
same
he
here.
says, and I'll email whatever I find out. to
Thank
Janine.
you, Jamie. Can you let us? Yeah, please.
Yeah, I
That would
will.
be awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Anybody else? I know we're all in this together, people. Somehow we're gonna find our way through. All right. Okay. So with that, show of
Oh,
hands.
sorry,
Yes.
Jeannie, one last
What's
thing.
up? Go ahead, Paulette.
I don't know if you relayed this from this morning's DLT meeting, but
Yeah,
for those of our schools that are Title I schools,
Yes,
there is a deadline.
Yes, Tamara took care of
Use
it before.
funds by May 3rd. So you have to get all of your purchase orders for the events that you want to book
Right.
into the system by May 3rd, or else you're going to lose that money.
Then I thank everybody for participating. I thank for all the information. And if anybody has any information they come across between now and our next meeting, please share it with everybody, or share it with me and Vito and Tamara, and we'll send it out to everybody so that we're all on the same page. All right. I'm going to adjourn this meeting. I need a second.
Second.
Okay. Ladies and gents, have a wonderful week.